Hello, my name is Newman. I'm a scientist at the James Hutton Institute. Today I'm going to tell you about biofilms. All around us, and even inside us, are lots of tiny bacteria living their lives at the microscale. Unless we use microscopes, we can't see them. You might have heard of bacteria that make us ill, but today we're going to find out about helpful bacteria in rivers and streams. Bacteria often live in groups within a gooey slime, called the extracellular polymeric substance, or EPS for short. The slimy mixture of bacteria is known as a biofilm. One example of a biofilm that you might know is the plaque that forms on your teeth. You brush that off so that the bacteria don't cause tooth decay. Biofilms are often found in wet or damp places. You may have seen slime like this in containers that have been left sitting outside with water in them, or on stones in rivers and streams. Biofilms are really useful in rivers and streams. Firstly, they provide food for mini beasts like freshwater shrimps and snails, which are then eaten by bigger animals like fish, birds or frogs. This is called a food chain. A food chain is a sequence which shows how each living thing gets its food. At the bottom of a food chain are primary producers. Producers make their own food, usually from sunlight through a process called photosynthesis. Next in the food chain come consumers, which eat the organisms beneath them in the food chain. In this example, the primary consumers, which eat the algae, are the tadpoles and snails. These are then eaten by the secondary consumers, the fish and the birds. Lots of food chains join together to make up a food web. In the red box at the bottom of the food web are pictures of bacteria. These are known as decomposers. They break down the waste of other organisms in the food web and return the nutrients to the ecosystem. Secondly, they help clean up rivers by removing harmful chemicals. Wastewater from our toilets and fertiliser runoff from farmland put nitrates and phosphates into the water. These are chemicals made up of nitrogen and phosphorus. They are elements of something called the periodic table. This is a list of building blocks of everything around us, including you and me. Nitrates and phosphates help the farmers' plants to grow, but too much of these chemicals pollute the water and harm the fish and other animals via something called eutrophication. That is pronounced eutrophication. This is when nitrates and phosphates cause too many plants to grow and they use up all the oxygen. Luckily, biofilms can help use up these chemicals before they cause problems. However, biofilms and rivers can be damaged by some of the other chemicals that get into our rivers. One group of chemicals that can be a problem for bacteria in river biofilms are antibiotics. You might have heard of antibiotics. You might have even taken some to make you better when you are ill. They are designed to kill bad bacteria in people and animals. But if those antibiotics get into water, they can also kill the good bacteria in biofilms or change the way that they work. Changes to biofilms might mean that they are not as good at cleaning up nitrates and phosphates, so our rivers could become less healthy. Less bacteria in biofilms means less food for fish and other animals. So, what can we do to protect our rivers and streams? Only use antibiotics if you really need to, but if you do, always take the full course. Wash our hands well to stop the spread of harmful bacteria. Take unused antibiotics back to the pharmacy. Thanks for watching our video today. I hope you have learned a lot about bacteria and biofilms.